Hello, welcome to the Online Learning Community Reflection. The purpose of this multimedia design project was to build a space for college faculty and instructors to gain knowledge how to effectively use multimedia in the classroom. My inspiration came from the department that I work for, Center for Online and Hybrid Learning. Rutgers University is certainly making a push to get more courses online, and I felt there was a real need for faculty to have a place that they could go to learn about new tools that are available to them for online classes, as well as a space to discuss some of their successes and also their challenges. I also have some experience with some faculty that I feel perhaps become stuck in what's comfortable and use the same multimedia tools that they've used for maybe the last year, 2, 3 years, and because multimedia tools are changing at such a rapid rate, we can't always keep up with it, and we shouldn't. But we probably should have a place where we can evaluate the tools that we are using now and look at what tools might have can enhance and improve on the tools that we're already using. So I don't think it's a good idea to constantly change, but at the same time, we definitely need to reflect as instructors and to constantly make our classes better. To create the website, I certainly relied on the ADDIE model analysis. It had me reflect on what I felt was needed, what challenges and problems our faculty are facing now, and it allowed me to determine what resources were needed for the faculty. Then the design itself, it allowed me to think about ways I was going to present the website, and also the order of how I was going to do it, the organization, the development of the next step in the ADDIE model would be the development, and I received some really great feedback from the students, my fellow students in class. Some of their ideas, such as changing background color, sizes of my fonts, and the color of my fonts, was extremely helpful. They also encouraged me to continue with my screencast of some of the various tools that I was highlighting under the eCollege Tools menu here. Implementation, other than using it myself, I suppose implementation would be the next step, and that would be to present it to my colleagues and get their ideas. To be fully open, I know that there is going to be a community of learning that's going to be available, that one of my colleagues is working on, and I am a member of it, and I really felt that this project allowed me to really think about how I was going to be a member of our community of learning here at Rutgers. I've gained a lot of confidence doing screencasts. I've also gained a lot of confidence using just tools, multimedia tools such as the Vocaroo, and even some of our the tools with the movies, and also pictures, and how to create different formats for learning. So I really felt that this class gave that to me. Anyway, going on with the ADDIE, then with the evaluation, I would hope that I would constantly continue to go through that ADDIE model, even when I'm doing the community of learning here at Rutgers, that I will constantly analyze and design and continue to develop the portion of that community of learning that is mine. I've also very much relied on My White Space Is Not Your Enemy, which is by Kim Golombisky and Rebecca Hagan, especially the chapter on designing for the web, but even the previous chapters really built up to that, because it's really the same. And I hope that I listened and followed their lessons about keeping clutter to a minimum, and that the focus was on the information and not to get too bogged down with making things look really cute and funny. One important factor that I wanted to be included in my website was when I go over tools, any kind of multimedia tools. It's important not only to present tools, but we need to give reasons why that tool is useful. It's easy to show what a tool does, but we need to really give examples of how that tool can be used, and then I think that more instructors would be willing to try it out. And I think to make it clear and have bullet points at first, and then this is that just indicate the different parts of the tool, and then down below here we also have some written manuals, but this is also where we have the videos, and we can give overviews, which is what this first one does, and then this would be another video on something specific, such as how to put a PowerPoint into a class live session. So I thought it was really important to break it down into simple lessons. There's a section in The White Space Is Not Your Enemy. It talks about how websites is not always the best tool for the job. And I do think a website in this case is the right place, but I also think that it's important to allow place for comments. So while it may not be, to sort of make it sort of kind of like a blog, so that people can comment on the above, and perhaps they will agree with what's going with the tool as being a good one, or maybe they'll have some negative things to say about it. There's certainly, it's not perfect, Class Live, for example. It has its downside, but it definitely, if you're patient and for the right reasons, it can be really good for your class. And so for that reason, I did think that it was important to have a blog. Another thing that's mentioned not only in the White Space book but in other of our readings is about social networking sites, and that's definitely something that I would have liked to have added to this, would be a Facebook and Twitter page, and so that when someone posts something on our website, that people who are a part of the group would then receive in Facebook and or Twitter that mention that, hey, someone has created a new tool, check in when you get a chance. And I think that might keep the activity active, because that is a big problem that I think about, is how am I going to get faculty to support this? Will they do that? They have so much to do. I really want this to be a place where they go to, I was thinking of how to draw them to it, so that that's where the place where they're going to go when they have a question, is that they'll go to this website, and when they post a question, perhaps on the online faculty discussion page, that someone from my group, for example, for the Center for Online and Hybrid Learning, would monitor the discussions on a regular basis. We would definitely be notified in our email or Facebook or Twitter, and that we would respond very quickly. And I think that will help get that community going, that community of practice. I definitely made a real effort to make sure that links to these sites were active, and that is something that going forward, if this were to go live, let's say, that these links really should be checked on a regular basis. There's probably nothing more frustrating than clicking on a link and it goes nowhere. It's really great when you can get that feedback from someone that says the link is broken, but it would be really great that on a regular basis, maybe at the before the beginning of every semester, that's something that the webmaster would do. And also to update. This is Illuminate Live, for example, for version 10, and if the version changes, that's something that we would want to constantly be on top of. So this is definitely not a website that's just going to be finished. It's going to constantly be evolving. Same thing with the e-college tools, Pearson e-college, for example, and just like many of the learning management systems are constantly updating what they provide and offer, and that is something that the people involved with the community of learning have to keep in mind and keep this active. That's the only way that this community of practice, this community of learning is going to stay active and is going to work for us. So I've given a lot of thought to that. It's something that I can't really show here at the class other than to say, it's not something that I can show here on my web page other than to say that for this to work, it's something that we would definitely have to keep in mind, is to constantly keep on top of it, to constantly be checking our links, and to constantly be looking at what we can add. This class has really given me much information and tools to continue in my work that I do every day, and it's given me a new way of thinking about what it is that I do and how I can improve, which is really most important, what I do. The readings were very insightful. And in fact, one of my favorite is the daily article on expanding the concept of literacy. Gave me a lot to think about and to continue thinking about, because it's not just about, it's about things that are changing, and we really do have to start to begin to think about how learning is changing and how we're going to present that in this new world that's coming. So that's my reflection. I hope that I met all the points that I wanted to meet, and I very much enjoyed the class. Thanks very much.